Grumpy Kong's Battle Rush in the post-game of Donkey Kong Bonanza is a difficult back-to-back battle section of the game where you'll have to take out 12 sections of enemies. This is tricky, so here's some tips to get through in one piece. The first stage involves taking on some Crockoid enemies. This one's fairly simple. Use charge punches or rolling punches to take out each enemy in quick succession. The next one is a minecart section, which involves throwing bombs at these spike enemies riding around in their carts. Use either the motion controls or the control stick to aim your shots. Don't sort of mix and match both because that can mess you up. Try to aim just ahead of each enemy and your shot should hit home each time. Now you'll have to take out some enemies atop some floating platforms. Use a hand slap, then change to Ostrich Bonanza to deal with each enemy one after the other. Careful use of egg bombs here can speed you up. Alternatively, you can just land and punch each enemy on each platform. Particularly at the end, you might find egg bombs to be helpful since it'll save you having to deal with each enemy by landing on their platform below you. Now there's a watery section with some chompy enemies that'll be coming at you. For this one, I suggest using Elephant Bonanza. What you want to do here is basically inhale the whole time and try to bait the enemies out to come out towards you. To do this, you could follow a circular clockwise pattern like this and space yourself around about midway between the outer and inner rings of enemies. Like this, all of the enemies should come out to attack you and you can just simply vacuum them up. Just be sure not to get hit. After a big section, next you'll be dealing with some small rolling enemies. This is quite tricky once again. I recommend only using charged punches from Kong Bonanza here. This way it's a lot easier to keep track of the enemies you're dealing with. Start at the left and move in a circular motion around to the right, being sure to keep track of where the enemies are because it's easy to lose one or two and then fail due to the timer running out. Using charge punches is arguably the cleanest way of getting this job done whilst keeping track of where all the bad guys are. Now there's a fairly simple stage involving two muck enemies. For this, simply grab some salt as you spawn in, throw the salt forwards with a well-timed throw, and then jump and throw some more salt after picking it up. With good aim here, you should be able to clear this section in a few seconds or so. Now another quite simple one involves some stomping enemies. First, you'll need to hit the balloon here to shut the walls as it were and get rid of the light, making the enemies vulnerable to attack. Once you've done that, just simply take out each one with charged or rolling overhead punches, making sure to finish them off. They look like a sort of gold skull once you've taken out the tough exterior. Now you've got a tough turf surf section to deal with. What I recommend you do here is immediately grab a large chunk of the concrete below you as Kong Bonanza. So hold down the ZR button for a good amount of time to get a meaty chunk of the terrain. Deal with the enemy ahead of you with a quick jump and speed boost. Now as you're going through this section, you'll have to be fast, but time your Y presses to speed up well, because if you time them wrong, you're going to bonk into the wall ahead of you instead of actually making any progress. You can only afford to make a few wall bumps here, otherwise you just won't make it in time. So time your boosts wisely. Also try to use small hop jumps. That is, just lightly tap the jump button, don't hold it down. A small hop is all it takes to clear an obstacle ahead of you. Boosting into each enemy should be enough to take it out, and by using those small jumps and timing your boost wisely, you should be able to make it to the end in time. Next up is a break section and then some large rolling enemies to deal with. For the first one, grab a chunk of the explosive terrain below you and simply throw it at that sort of fiery enemy. Once he's out of the way, use charged or rolling overhead punches to take out the other foes in this area. Nothing too tricky. You can also again grab the explosive terrain and throw that at the foes to take them out quite quickly if you want to do so. Now there's a vertical stage with some zinger flyer enemies on either side of you. Spam R here to hand slap until you reach the very top. A few of the enemies might even take themselves out. Then simply spam the throw button left and right to throw chunks of dirt at the enemies all the way down. If you need to, press R again to hand slap and give yourself some more terrain to throw at those pesky foes. You should be through this in no time at all. Next up, we've got some necky type diving flying enemies or bats or something. Here, switch over to Elephant Bonanza, inhale the terrain ahead of you to clear yourself a path, and then spam the ZR throw button to throw chunks of the terrain at the enemy that you're coming up to. Try to deal with each enemy one at a time if you can. Throw as many chunks as it takes to knock them out of the sky and then deal with them once they're down. You don't need to punch at all here, just chuck chunks of terrain at those foes to take them out one at a time. The penultimate stage involves those nasty wall enemies. There's a catch here. Most of them are concrete, but a few of them are spiky concrete at the end, making them impossible to touch. Now once again, use Kong Bonanza here, punch your way through all the ones that you can, and for the spiky ones you'll need to pick up some terrain from the ground and swing it at those foes in order to deal with them. A couple of good swings should take out each one. Sometimes there's a brief delay before they're actually defeated after you've taken enough of their HP away, so keep swinging until the job's done. Now last but not least, you've got a boss waiting for you at the end. It's a gold version of one of Grumpy Kong's minions. For this one, use Elephant Bonanza to vacuum up the lower part of the boss, then climb up, switch to Kong Bonanza and punch away at Grumpy Kong until he's down. Be careful because sometimes he'll get up and try to swing his picky pickaxe at you. When he's doing that, he doesn't take much damage, so get out of the way, wait for the swing, then climb back up and continue punching. You should be able to clear this within 30 seconds if you do this right. So there's some tips to get you through this rather challenging rush section. Once you do this, there's plenty of bananas waiting for Donkey Kong at the end as a reward. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.